Hey friends, welcome back to Rustic and Rooted. If you're dreaming of a peaceful garden full of wildflowers, vintage charm, and that timeless English cottage style, you're in the right place. Today, we're taking a stroll through some beautiful, cozy cottage garden ideas that'll inspire you to turn even the smallest backyard into a floral escape. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting out, there's something here to spark your imagination. So grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's wander through some garden daydreams together. Winding stone paths are a signature element of the traditional English cottage garden. They don't just lead you through the space, they invite exploration and discovery. Edged with tufts of green and bursts of color, these paths add structure while blending effortlessly into the surrounding wildness. Every step feels like entering a secret world shaped by nature and time. As you follow the curves and turns, you're not just moving through a garden, you're moving through a story. Each corner reveals something new, a blooming rose, a buzzing bee, or a hidden nook. This journey sets the tone for what lies ahead, an organic space where beauty grows with freedom and intention. Wildflowers are the soul of the cottage garden. They bloom in joyful chaos, unbothered by strict rows or order. Their natural harmony, created by variation in height, color, and texture, brings a relaxed elegance that modern gardens often miss. These blooms are more than decorative. They nurture pollinators and create a living, breathing ecosystem. Their presence speaks of patience and love, often self-seeding and returning year after year with little interference. As you walk along the path, wildflowers sway gently in the breeze, offering a dynamic rhythm that changes with each season. From here, we're drawn to one of the garden's most romantic elements, the rustic archways. something undeniably charming about a rustic arch draped in roses. These structures, often made of weathered wood or iron, frame the garden like portals to a more peaceful, slower world. Climbing roses wrap themselves around the frames with abandon, their blooms spilling over in soft hues of pink, cream, and blush. Passing under an arch like this feels ceremonial, almost sacred. It marks a transition, not just within the garden but within your own pace and perspective. Beyond the arch, other small details await. Vintage objects, aged by time and softened by nature, quietly add to the story being told. Old watering cans, worn terracotta pots, and rusty tools once forgotten now find new life among the flowers. These vintage accents aren't merely decorative, they're storytellers. Each carries a history, a memory, and a touch of authenticity that modern garden decor can't replicate. Their presence grounds the space, connecting it to generations past. Nestled between blooms or placed beneath benches, they draw the eye and offer quiet moments of reflection. A chipped pot holding daisies, or an old spade leaning against the fence, suggests that this garden is lived in and loved. These details blend seamlessly into the next sensory experience, where lavender hums with life. Lavender borders are a staple in cottage gardens, and for good reason. Their soothing color, calming fragrance, and generous blooms create both beauty and function. Bees dance through the stalks, their quiet buzzing adding a musical quality to the garden. It's a reminder that this space is shared with life beyond human hands. Standing by the lavender, you feel the stillness of the air mixed with gentle movement. Plant's silvery foliage contrasts with deeper greens while its perfume lingers. And just beyond these buzzing borders, something ancient waits quietly, the old brick walls wrapped in ivy whispering stories of endurance and grace. There's a quiet romance to aged brick walls in a garden setting. Worn down by time and weather, they stand strong and beautiful. Ivy trails up their sides like living lace, softening hard edges and adding a sense of depth. These walls feel timeless, anchoring the garden in history and tradition. They provide texture, warmth, and a rich contrast to the soft petals of the surrounding blooms. Cracks are filled with moss, while shadows play against their surface at dusk. Near one such wall, a wooden bench waits beneath a canopy of flowers, a perfect place to pause and take in the magic. In every cottage garden, there's at least one spot designed for stillness. A simple wooden bench, aged and sun-warmed, invites you to sit and linger. Tucked under an arbor or nestled beside a flowering shrub, these nooks offer a gentle retreat from the day's noise. Here you can sip tea, read a book, or simply watch the breeze move the petals. The surrounding blooms seem to lean in protectively, creating a cocoon of scent and color. As we move on from this restful nook, the garden's palette comes into focus, soft pastels and dreamy hues painting every corner. Pastel pinks, creamy whites, and pale blues blend together in the cottage garden like brushstrokes on a canvas. These gentle tones soften the space, making it feel both elegant and accessible. There's no harsh contrast here, just a harmonious layering that soothes the senses and sparks nostalgia. Whether it's delicate cosmos, nodding foxgloves, or frilly peonies, each flower contributes to a serene atmosphere. Colors shift with the sunlight, casting a new mood each hour. These hues feel alive, shaped by season and sky. Their softness contrasts beautifully with the next scene, an overgrown corner where the garden grows wild and true. Not everything in a cottage garden is pruned and planned, and that's the beauty of it. Overgrown sections where wildflowers and herbs spill over paths show the garden's true nature, one of love, patience, and organic growth. These areas are messy in the most beautiful way, filled with life and movement. Butterflies flit among tangled stems, and every square inch seems to buzz with energy. It's a quiet celebration of letting nature take the lead. And tucked within all this growth, you find one final element that brings it all together, a rustic gate that leads into this hidden, heartfelt world. A rustic wooden gate, its hinges worn and creaky, is more than an entryway. It's a symbol. It marks the passage into a place untouched by urgency. Surrounded by blooms and hedgerows, the gate feels like it belongs to another time, one where seasons mattered more than schedules. As it swings open, the garden reveals itself once more in all its nostalgic beauty. Behind every flower and pathway lies a whisper of the past, preserved in petals and stone. This is where timeless charm meets the wild spirit of nature, where rustic roots grow deep and every detail tells a story. So there you have it, winding paths, blooming wildflowers, vintage touches, and that effortless overgrown beauty that makes cottage gardens so magical. It's not about perfection, it's about personality, peace, and letting nature do what it does best. If you enjoyed this little escape, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear which part of the garden inspired you the most. Thanks for spending some time in the garden with me. Until next time, stay rooted and keep things rustic.